Hey guys, I don't know why I did that. I hope your quarantine is going good, or as good as it can be, especially with the lockdown and everything. I know that some of you had a couple concerns about leadership auditions and drum major auditions and how we're going to prepare for that, especially since we don't have school for the rest of the semester. So I have decided to make these videos, the one that you're hopefully watching, to help you prepare as much as possible for whenever the auditions will be. I don't have any information on when or what they're gonna look like. I have been in touch with Davis a little bit, and he said go ahead and make these videos and send them out to you guys, so that's what we're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna make 3 videos. This first one will be over just a regular 4 pattern and technique. So basically it'll be over things and tips and tricks to think about when you're conducting and when you're practicing, stuff to look for, and yeah. So that'll be this video, and then I'll make another video on the alma mater and the fight song. So hopefully these will help you. I know some of you are already vaguely familiar, or you've done some practicing and figuring it out on your own, which is also great. I would just go through the videos anyway and make sure that there's something that you didn't miss. Maybe I have explained something a different way, I don't know. But yeah, that's what these videos will be for, and that's really all I have for the intro. So, let's get into it. Also, I'm gonna try not to be super awkward and cringy, but just bear with me. So, okay. So when we're thinking about conducting and getting ready to conduct, we want to start building from the bottom up. So I like to have, I know the drum majors at our school, we do different feet positions, like we'll do it in first position, second position, third position, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to go with shoulder width apart, so you have a good stance for practicing. So feet shoulder width apart, and then you want to make sure that your legs don't lock in while you're standing up, because if they lock, then it can cause you to get lightheaded and you can pass out. I know from experience, so you don't want to do that. Really important, super important. It's kind of an underrated tip, but it's very important for conducting. So from there, you're going to take shoulders, rolling back just a little bit, and you want to have a very composed posture. You don't want to have your back arched, because that just doesn't look very professional. And it'll also cause back pain, so just don't do that. So yeah, very, very composed and poised posture. From there, you're going to take your right arm and excuse me, I don't know why I keep messing up words. Your right arm in front of your body, like this. It'll be kind of a right angle. Make sure your hand's in a fist. And then you're going to take your left arm and cross over, just like that. Ideally, it should be 2 right angles. And make sure your fingers, you see how they're spread out here? You don't want that. You want to make sure they're together, cupping your right elbow. Yeah. So from here, you're going to breathe in, and your arms are going to kind of come up just a little bit when you breathe in. It'll be and then it'll come out and around to set. When you're finding set, you can look, I can see myself in the camera right now, but if you're practicing in a mirror, which I very highly suggest, you want to make sure that your elbows aren't, I can adjust a little bit myself, you don't want to make sure that they're too close to your sides. It may feel like you're out and straight, but from the front view, it looks kind of funny, and if I were to conduct like this, you just don't want to do that. You also want to make sure that your elbows aren't too far out, which also can cause your shoulders come up. I don't know why, but you're at this point, your if I like go to this view, this is funny. You can see how your fingers are like pointed in, so they're not out, they're in like this, which makes it weird because your beat is crossing instead of just going out like that. The beat comes from your two fingers, these two fingers mostly. So it's always important to make sure that they're forward. If you're looking at it from a side view, you want to make sure, ooh, my juice is a little high there. This is ideally what you should be seeing. It's pretty close to a right angle and it's in line with the side of my body. What you don't want to have is too far forward. This can cause shoulder pain. Shoulder pain, and you can get tired a lot easier. Or if you're too far back, you kind of, like if I were to conduct like this, you see how, okay, my elbows are at the right position, but if I just move it too far back, they were going to be conducting like this, and it's no bueno. So after you've assessed that you're not unintentionally doing any of those things and you're in line, check your elbows, make sure your hands, that's another thing. Do the Eskimo check, make sure can't really see because my hair, but your thumb is by your earlobe. You're kind of doing the Eskimo check. And it's almost like a proper wave too, if you want to do that. But this is the general position your hands should be in when you're conducting. And from here, you can just put your hands down and descend, like so. So yeah, that's assessing, that's the long version of making sure your body is ready for conducting, and just checking and make sure your form is correct before you even start waving your arms around. So, the pattern. There's like a saying for each position, so we'll go for beat 1, it's high, hamburger, hug, and then don't shoot. I'm gonna scoot back so my 3 doesn't go off the camera. So every time you bounce up, it's like you're touching an imaginary plane. Something for practicing is you can get a stand and put 2 sticky notes where your hands would be. Raise it up to that level, and you can practice with tapping that post-it note every single time you go up into each position. That way you can practice hitting the ictus at the same point. So ideally, if I'm conducting, every time I hit the ictus, which is that imaginary plane point, it should be the same picture and position. So yeah, when you go out to 3, so if we're conducting 5, 6, 7, 8, we go 1, 2, 3. 3 is important in that you focus on your fingers, so your fingers aren't gonna come out and go out to the side. My hands are, they're in line with my arm, but they're not in line with the band. So you have to imagine that, oh, here's something to think about. If you're on the field and you're marching and you're looking up at your drum major, okay? Imagine that drum major is also you and you're conducting. Something to think about when you're critiquing yourself is, would I want to watch myself on the podium? And that's a good way to think about it, especially if you're like, I can't find the beat in my conducting, or I can't figure out why my 3 looks weird, or that's also why well, I guess not so much me, Brian, Hayden, and Jace are also here to help. You can record yourself conducting a regular 4 pattern or the school songs once we make those videos, and you can send them a video of you conducting that, and then they can give you tips on some things that they see, or if you have a question about something you can improve on, or something just doesn't feel right. They might say it a different way than I do, and it might click in your brain faster than what I say, which is totally fine. But yeah, that's something that they've also agreed that they will help with, and they want to help with, because we want to see you guys succeed. So that's just something going all the way back on track. When you go out to 3, is make sure that your fingers and your hands are still pointed towards the band. You don't want to throw away the beat. It's like you throw it away and it's like, where'd it go? I made my, did you see it over that way? No. So, yeah, so that's basically 4-pattern conducting. I do advise, here, my metronome, please turn on, there we go. I turn my metronome to 70 for slow conducting, and this is in 4. So, come out, and I don't know if you can hear it, but I'll count off anyway, if you can or can't. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I caught myself the last rep with my fingers on 3 pointing too far out. That's something to look for. Cut off. Stop. Okay, so that is a good tempo, I think, for practicing at slow first. You can even start slower at like 60, which is probably the lowest you should start at. And then from there you can build up in tempo when practicing. You can also turn on subdivision for 8th notes to help figure out distance-wise from how high you should go and how far out you should go in each direction. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys for the regular 4-pattern. Yeah, okay, hopefully this helps you. If you have any questions about something I said in the video or something that I might have contradicted myself on, I'm not really sure, go ahead and text me, or yeah, just ask me, because I don't want to make this any more confusing than it already is. So yeah, cool guys, good luck practicing.